Hello, my name's Faith, and this is the Between Clients podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk a bit about resistance. Resistance is a big term. A lot of people don't really have the same definition of what resistance is. In therapy, when I perceive someone to be resistant, it's generally maybe someone who's not willing to go particularly deep, or they're not willing to share in sessions. And that often happens more when someone is being pressured to go rather than authentically, genuinely wants to go. It can happen for a variety of reasons. So welcome to the Between Clients podcast, and I hope you enjoy today's episode. So resistance to treatment and to personal development happens very often. There are some hard realities about it that I think as a therapist I'd like to share. Many people are resistant to development, to therapy, and to growth. And the issue is that they're unhappy but unwilling to make changes. I've noticed in people who sort of have that attitude, it's a lot of blaming everything else. And I don't disagree. Yes, the world sucks. And yes, things are really hard at the moment. And life is just hard, just even trying to get up every day and go to work and pay bills. I know how hard that is. But no one else is going to make your quality of life better. No one else can. Maybe temporarily, but not organically, not authentically, not in a way that will have long-term effects. That has to come from you. I know that people who are resistant in this way struggle to maintain long-term connections with others because instead of navigating a healthy relationship, you become reliant. These are some of the things that you have to face in order to start driving yourself and motivating yourself to make the changes. But there are more things to this, and I recognize why people are resistant. Money. The reality is that therapy is simply too expensive, and that's a huge deterrent. However, don't hate me. How much do you spend on pints with your mates, or going out with your friends, or on restaurants? It is expensive. I agree with that. I think it shouldn't be. As a therapist, I think it's important that we earn for what we do. So maybe it's considering, where do I want to invest my money? Something really small, it doesn't have to be this huge, overwhelming experience. But there are therapists ready to help, wanting to help. And it's just that you have to motivate yourself to get onto that chair, onto that couch. And the more you're able to be vulnerable with your therapist, who is trained to support you in that place, you'll be able to be vulnerable with other people. And that, again, really builds emotional intelligence, knowing when is a good time for me to be vulnerable and when it's not a good time for me to be vulnerable. Another factor, and this is going to sound really critical, but it is true, laziness. And there's only so much moaning you can do before you start going, right, well, do I want to sit on this frustration for the rest of my life? Or do I actually want to get up and change something? Change what's in my control? It's your responsibility still to recognize your need and action it. Laziness and demotivation are different. But I know from every single client group I've worked with that holding on to stagnancy and stuckness leaves one isolated, unhappy, and lonely. And it's every individual's responsibility to discipline themselves to a degree, right? Therapy is discipline. You are showing up, you're opening up, you're motivated to learn more about yourself. A quality of life that feels good, where you enjoy it. It's having the discipline to want to enjoy life, to have people come to you for support. Not always, but a healthy balance. Any relationship is give, take. It's not take, take, take. I know that a lot of people go, oh, I expected you to do this. Well, you should have done this anyway. No. People aren't mind readers, and you need to communicate. That is the key thing. You must communicate. Another reason why people are resistant to therapy is bad past experiences. Many people have had terrible experiences with therapists that put them off completely, but the same way you meet new people you don't like and people that you do, you'll have the same experience with therapists because we're just human. Some people like us, others don't, and that's okay. But don't give up because you had one bad experience. Imagine if you did that with friends. My final point, really, no one's going to swoop in and save you from the void within yourself. It's you and only you that can climb out of it. And it's about giving yourself the self-assuredness and the confidence and the skills to be able to do that for yourself. I've come to the end of the podcast now, and I'm sorry if that was a bit intense, but I think it's something that needs to be said. I think some people struggle a lot with having people who are very stuck in their lives, and then those stuck people really struggling to motivate. So this is an episode for everyone on all sides of that spectrum. And oftentimes we've been on both ends. So it's not saying I'm preaching and I'm perfect, because I've been this person. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And I've just started a new podcast called Burn After Listening. It's a little bit more broad, a little bit more fiery. And yeah, check it out after this episode. And obviously check out episode 1 of the Between Clients podcast. Take care of yourselves. Bye.